call the Judicial Committee to order. And we have roll call. Everyone is here except for Jeremy. First order of business is the approval of minutes. They've been approved at the commission level.
Make a motion, we approve the April 16th minutes.
Second.
Any comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nothing. Okay, we have new business. We have Corey here. And we have two part-time judicial commissioners we're going to entertain tonight. And Corey, I'm going to turn it over to you for that.
Thank you.
Point of order, do we need to do public comments first?
Well, I'm sorry, we do need public comments. Excuse me, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Anybody in the public would like to comment on anything you feel that's important?
Hi,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, if you will, I just got something briefly for you guys, three minutes, maybe 3.1. Anyways, I've got something that.
Can you state your name and?
Yeah, I was just gonna preface this and then I'll tell you if that's, or I'm Clint Thomas.
Okay, I got your email, I just didn't know who you were.
Yeah, well, I was getting it, that I just wanted to preface it with, this was what I was gonna say, is
He
it,
doesn't have his pirate hat on.
I need that. This doesn't directly affect the judicial committee, but it does you as a commissioner, it indirectly affects. And then it was Clint Thomas,
How you, sir? I tried to call you
I
back.
live at 3600 Underwood Road in Mount Juliet. It's actually in Claypool. As a former county commissioner, what I'm going to talk to you tonight about is a project that's going to come before you next month to vote on. And I didn't know if you guys were going to meet next month before it comes to date, so I wanted to try to catch you guys. But as a former county commissioner, I understand how difficult these decisions are when we talk about rezoning, especially when they impact people's homes and livelihoods. But this proposal, known as First Park 840, it offers real tangible solutions to long-standing concerns from roughly about 10 households that are directly impacted by environmental issues as we speak. We have opposed past plans due to flooding, runoff, and uncertainty. But this project, like I said, was different by including voluntary purchase of these homes and removing them from harm's way that directly addresses these particular fears. Beyond the immediate relief of these families, this project presents a significant opportunity, economic opportunity for Wilson County. As you probably know, Wilson County covers 583 square miles, which is roughly 373,120 acres, and only about 3% of that land is currently used for commercial industrial development. Yet that small 3% generates remarkably 33% of the county's revenue. This shows the critical importance to smart strategic growth and a fund services, a growth that funds these services and infrastructure that we all rely upon. So, while a 330,000 square foot warehouse translates to roughly a $250,000 in revenues, approving this particular project means that one, there's a substantial new tax revenue which supports schools, roads, public safety, helping prevent possible tax increase to homeowners already in strain and whatnot. And the beautiful thing about that is you don't have to provide more police, you don't have to provide more teachers, more school, more infrastructure. The structure is already there. Number two, it addresses past growth decisions related eventually going way back to Percy Priest and 840, as 840 was put specifically there for that corridor for economic growth and whatnot by the state and counties. And number three, it aligns with Wilson County's natural growth corridor, which while this parcel isn't currently in the county growth plan as C4, it is already C2. And that was, obviously, as you're aware, it was updated 20 years ago. And since 20 years, you know, the county, obviously, our needs have changed dramatically, and future plans include areas like this. So this site is strategically positioned near three major interstates, obviously, as you know, 40, 65, 24, and 840. An international airport supported by existing infrastructure investments like Highway 40. It's no accident that development keeps coming back and again. But this is because this location makes sense. Again, So in sum,
Excuse me,
in
Clint.
sum,
I appreciate your comments. We have a general rule that 3 minutes, and we understand you're for this.
yes,
And I think everybody's got your email.
yeah, I got close, I'm sorry, I tried to get real close to
Any comments?
It's okay.
We appreciate your,
Okay.
thank you very much. Okay. Okay, the next, any other public comments? Okay, now, let me introduce again Corey. He has two part-timers, one's currently working, one is the new person. And we'll entertain the current one now, okay?
Yes, sir. Todd Gibson started back in April of 2024. I think during his time he started, there was a couple of shifting of what part-time terms would be. He's gotten through that. I'd like to recommend him for a year term.
Okay,
He has, the judges have no issues with him. They're very happy with him. I'm happy with him since I've been here in April. I have no issues.
Is he full-time now?
no, he's part,
Just part-time. He has a full-time.
he's a
But
part.
he's working part-time now?
Yes, sir.
And we're hiring him for a part-time?
No, he's more.
It's a reappointment.
He's a
Oh, it's a reappointment.
I'm sorry.
That's what I missed.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry.
He's already
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions to
Yeah.
Corey about this?
I'd like to make, oh,
No, I was just gonna ask for some clarification. I think, when is his term now up?
July.
So we need to do the new term from July to July, so.
Right, so when we approve, if we approve him, it will be from July 25 to 26.
And moving forward with my reappointments that are coming up further, is it okay with the committee if I come the month before their term expires?
Yes, I mean, as far as I'm
Is
concerned,
Fine.
that okay?
yeah,
I don't see that as a problem.
that makes sense, actually.
I
Yeah,
recommended that to him, not to take credit for it, but Lisa took, sometimes she'd bring me in 3 or 4 months in advance, and that screwed up the term time.
Yeah.
yeah.
And, so I
And what
told him,
we'll
let's make
do
sure
is-
we extend from the expiration of a term to a new term.
Right,
That
so,
makes sense.
when you bring in, just make sure we know the start date and the end date for that, okay? And you had the judges' comments, which
Yes.
we like that also, and thank you for that. And I think Lauren had a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to reappoint Todd Gibson for a year for part-time judicial commissioner starting July 2025 through July 2026.
Second.
Any other comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations, Todd. Yeah, it will go before the commission, and the commission is who decides, okay? Okay, Corey?
Next young man I'm bringing is Kyle Jacobs. He currently works full-time at Amazon. We interviewed, Kyle was very enthusiastic, pretty familiar with our computer system. And as you see on his resume, he has a degree in criminal justice. I was pretty impressed with Kyle. Probable cause, he was spot on it, and that really surprised myself and Miss Swindell, because some of the other ones we interviewed, their basic response for why they wanted to interview or the job was because it was in Lebanon. They had no clue what the Judicial Commissioner's office did, and I would like to recommend Kyle contingent on his background coming back for up to a year,
Okay.
to put him on par as the same as Mr. Gibson, to keep those two together,
Okay. Starting
Well,
part-time.
starting in July, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Is there the part-time position, did it have a term already?
No,
Commissioner Kurtz, when I assumed the director role, it was open, and from what I could figure out, it had not been filled in at least 10 months.
right.
Because I know we moved somebody part-time to full-time, and I didn't know if there was because that term would come
Yes, sir.
with the term. I mean, that position would come with the term. Is that not correct, Mike?
you'd stay with the old term. but
Right, you'd
part-time.
stay with
So
the
I
old
think
term.
that's what he's.
Okay.
starting
I
to
think
do.
when
Yeah,
he
I
went
think
from
it's been open for a
from
while.
part-time to full-time, that position was vacated,
It was.
Right,
Okay.
yeah.
okay?
The only question I have is, and this is back to kind of conversations we've had in the past, is when we bring somebody brand new in, do we want to do a shorter, like 90-day term, just to see if you enjoy the work, if he's a good fit? Because once you're appointed, we can't do anything if it doesn't work out.
Well,
At which point I think we had talked in the past about doing, just a temporary 90-day just to see, and then if it works out, to do a year at that point.
I don't disagree if they're full-time.
Okay.
I think part-time in my mind changes it a little bit.
I do too.
Well, my only thought is that you can not schedule somebody if it doesn't work out, but that takes up a head count for an entire calendar year, which might have an issue with your scheduling.
Well, may I speak for a second? We've done that in the past, and what has happened with part-timers, since they are part-timers, the training takes longer. And the last time we did this, we had to reappoint someone that had not been certified yet in order to get the training completed. So I think a longer term, up to a year for a part-timer, is more appropriate because they're not gonna work as many hours, so they're not gonna train. He's not gonna come in every day and train, he's part-time, because he's getting paid, we can only pay him so much per pay period. So that's how many hours he's gonna train, and it may in fact take more time to train. Therefore, I would recommend the year. This position has not been filled for 10 months, and the office has been working fine.
I don't know, what do you think?
I'm under the opinion that if when he starts training and comes,
Mm-hmm.
I think he will see, and I will see at the office whether or not it's working.
Okay.
And I think we can address it if it's not on our level here where it's, I don't think the year term would become a problem. I
Okay.
think if it would be a mutual agreement, if he wanted to separate, as
Then he can
opposed,
resign.
as
Right.
opposed to not having to,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
It does.
I'm worried because he has a full-time job and we're only allotted so many hours a week
Right.
for him. So I'm trying to, and we talked about it a little bit on the way over here, but I wanna get him in when he's busy
That
so
makes
he
sense.
can learn, cause I'm a visual learner. And the only way I learn stuff is if I see it happen.
Right.
So, and with the hours that I suggested to him, he was in agreement with, which were second shift hours, third shift hours, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So, he works a full-time job. I don't wanna kill him. But in the same sense, I think I can get 24 hours out of him a week.
Okay. And this is more just to see you understand. My questions are more systemic and trying to set a standard. It's not specific to you in general. It's just
Yeah.
as we bring somebody in, what is our standard? Those are that's why I'm asking the questions. I am being the
And I
courtesy
feel
director as to how we want to do
I
this.
feel like moving forward with
So,
new hires,
yes.
that would kind of be my standard of,
Okay.
For full-time positions.
yes, sir.
Okay. That's why I'm asking you the questions.
And I think part-time, who knows, he may get in here in 6 months and really have a hold of it, right?
Right.
So if we limit him on 6 months, I don't wanna come back in 6 months and go, hey, he's working out. Now can I get a full year?
Okay.
So-
And that's fine. Again, just trying to
And
understand
we
where
did
we
that
are from
before, and it
standards.
didn't work out that well. We started at minimum time, and then we had to come back and reappoint because they hadn't finished training.
Yeah.
Even. So I'm gonna make a motion that we recommend to the commission a 1-year part-time appointment for Mr. Jacobs.
From July to July.
July to July.
I'll second that.
Any other comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thanks, Court. Now, the other thing I had on the agenda, we had some questions about your pay grade, and I think it's resolved, I believe. It's resolved, and we talked about that, I talked with HR, and I talked to some other people. Now, if the pay scale increases with our new budget and you're in there, that's fine. And if it doesn't, because you just started, and it comes up next year, that may be the way it works too. I'm not sure how the pay study is done. I don't know how it works
I think,
with everyone, but, how's it work? You're in,
so I think
Budget.
my understanding was that because this committee was the one who hired Corey, that we just needed to formally say that we want him to be, I think it's a grade 13, step 1, which is
correct.
where he is. But we need to actually make that official, so it's in the record, so that
I
way
think that's what
HR,
he wants to.
right, so that way HR has something that goes back on his half
I'll
sheet.
make a
that
motion
says-
that he's grade 13, step 1.
I
Sec-
second.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. And as far as the pay study will apply to the other commissioners and yourself. When it's appropriate, you'll be advanced in step, et cetera. Not committee approval, it'd be the budget.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other new business?
I think he had something.
Mr. John, I do have something.
Yeah, let me, go ahead and have you speak.
So, as you know, I was appointed in April, and y'all went ahead and approved the status quo budget prior to me being appointed the director. Well, since I've taken office,
You sure, lady?
since I took over, I've been looking at stuff, and LaBranya sent an email out yesterday in regards to the new pay plan.
Okay.
And looking at the pay plan, something has stuck out to me since I took over and started looking at the numbers. I have 4 commissioners, 3 who started within, well, 4 of them who started within 3 months of one another. And their rates were adjusted prior to when they were appointed. And I have one that went from a part-time position. He is 1, 2, 3,
Done, Luis?
5 down there. He went from part-time, which his hourly rate, which is circled there, is what our part-time people made.
Okay.
And now they have him at, he was put in full-time in August of 2024.
Okay.
He didn't get the step adjustment for
We're going full time.
going full-time. All I'm looking at before we start this new budget is to make him right. I feel like he should be with the other ones at that.
At that
Right.
level.
Yeah,
Okay, I have a question then.
Yes.
If he goes that level, do you have money in your budget
I
full
do.
time?
I currently have money within my budget, but it's in the part-time line. I've spoken with Mr. Maynard and LaBranya, and they said, and I spoke with Mayor Jennings, they said because I have money in my budget, I need to get your blessing. And I'm gonna do what I feel is right for my employees, and I believe this is right, and I'm gonna fight for him. He has no idea that I'm doing
What's
it.
this sheet?
That is the new pay plan,
Okay, that's where
where we
everybody,
start July 1st.
so would this put him up to date or still behind?
No, if
This would change.
this would change him to being July 1st with everybody else.
You're not looking to go like retroactive, you're just looking to do this.
Just looking for the new
I'm
budget.
just looking to get him even starting July 1st with everybody.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to increase Luis Martinez's hourly rate to $30.23, which is starting July 1, which is commensurate to everybody else in that line, or in the same position.
Okay. Now, what's this 3083?
That's the fee.
Is that
Is it where it is?
tight or is that
No, sir, that's,
3083? Okay.
I don't know,
That's,
I don't know how, there again, that was prior to me.
right.
Yeah.
So I'm digging new and I'm finding new every day.
Okay,
Okay.
well, here, I'll extend my motion too. Okay, so I'd like to see his salary up to $30.23 an hour, commensurate with the other judicial commissioners, starting July 1, funded by moving funds from the part-time line to the full-time line within the judicial commissioner's budget.
Okay, another question before,
And I
okay,
think if we,
and I'll second that, but
okay,
Well, y'all need to catch me up here. What did you look at?
do you need that, you need to back up?
Well, I mean, I got for Louise, but who were you talking about? Are you doing somebody else?
No,
no,
just one,
just Luis
just so it's commensurate.
Martinez.
So if you
Okay,
look at
so-
the sheet, see, so everybody else in the same position, or
This one.
gonna be making,
Okay, if somebody said 30-21, but it's 30-23.
it's 30-23,
That's all
yeah.
I need to know.
Yeah, so it's just moving him up to the same salary as everybody else, starting July 1,
Yeah, I
just like
understand
everybody
that.
else, yeah.
Now,
And it's funded with money, moving money from part-time to full-time within this budget.
well, that's my question. Do we need to do that with the new increases because of the pay plan and the increases there? Is that what you're considering the new budget? Because the budget, we had a status quo budget, but the pay plan increases will increase that naturally.
From my
But it would
understanding,
put him behind still.
Yeah, but if he's gonna get that, do you need more money in addition to that?
Well,
Mr. Maynard advised me
Yeah.
that
do
I
that?
had plenty
Okay,
in my
okay.
budget, so.
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah,
that's all I'm asking.
the part-time line is overfunded right now.
Right.
Does that have to go to budget then Monday night?
It does, but budget's meeting at 6:15 on Monday night,
Right.
so yeah. So it should be an easy one though.
Okay. Any other comments, questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you for,
Vote.
he, like I said, he didn't know this was coming, but I'm gonna fight for my employees. So,
Excellent.
I appreciate it. And I'll give you a quick synopsis of what we're doing, if you don't know.
Yeah, go ahead and tell us what's going on.
I've met with every agency.
Right.
We're doing face-to-face bond arraignments pretty regular now. We're fixing to open the satellite office at the old JC building. I don't know if you've been up there and noticed, we've got signs on the door. We're gonna put out when we go, we're gonna start slow. We're looking at doing some electronic, stuff with the DUI search warrants and possibly moving to the electronic signatures with those and eventually getting to the warrants. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to cut these officers down, running from the hospital
Right.
back to and from the jail. And everything I've heard from April 23rd with these officers is if we can get electronic signatures, you will save us a lot of time. And so we sat down, I met with all the agencies, Sheriff's Department, Chief Stafford said, we have a program, we'll put everybody in the county under the umbrella and we will.
And I don't know, how do electronic signatures work with, having to be sworn in?
So we FaceTime.
Okay, okay,
Judge Kane's doing it.
right.
Judge Lee is getting there. That's what led me to making sure we were lawful with it.
So there's a face-to-face
Yes, sir.
virtually,
Yes, sir.
and then the signature comes, okay.
And a lot of counties around us have been doing that for not a long time, but they've been doing it and a lot of success and it cuts down on the downtime for the officers that's off the road. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay. Do you need any support from this committee?
No, sir, I
Because
just,
you're running your office, okay?
I-
But we appreciate the information you're
I
providing.
will tell you this, we've shifted the hours, we're on 10-hour shifts now. I can look at you and tell you that confidently, every shift we run, 24 hours a day, we have 2 people there. And we have a lot of overlap with this. I think once we get adjusted, we started June 1st. Once we get adjusted, I think you're gonna see a whole lot of changing.
What do the commissioners think of it?
So far, it's a little rough. They're trying to get the sleep schedules adjusted, but they really like the 3 days off in a row. And that way I ain't burning them out either. So,
Okay, and the part-timers are filling in.
yes, and they're staying at 8, because I get more bang for my buck leaving them on 8-hour shifts. So, but thank y'all. I'm gonna try to do this once a quarter to keep y'all appeased whenever you meet. Hopefully you're not having to meet because of me. But when you
No,
do,
we appreciate it, we really do, and, we thank you for your working so hard to get things squared away over there.
thank y'all.
Any other comments?
No.
Move to adjourn.
Motion.
All right.
All right.